Welcome 5th grade teachers to another Passport to Social Studies video. My name is Mr. Giordano and I'm the Virtual Content Specialist for 5th grade Social Studies. Today, we will be looking at Unit 3, a United States case study, and our Day 7 through 8 lesson. The topic for this lesson is westward expansion. Our focus question is how have forces and events in United States history led to growth and transformation of the nation? Our learning objective is to research the timeline and events of westward expansion in the United States during the 19th century. Today, your students will read the document Key Events Westward Expansion in the 19th Century. They will closely read the text and use a color coding annotation key as they look for evidence of growth and transformation as well as prejudice and loss. To further elevate this assignment, you may wish to encourage or require students to use the strategies presented to the right to further their annotations and close reading of the text, especially as an enrichment activity. As a follow-up to this assignment, you may wish for your students to self and even peer assess one another's close reading and annotations. We will use a continuum tool that you can use for this self or peer assessment. Let's review to the right some of the strategies that your students may want to use to better comprehend the text that will further elevate their annotations and close reading skills. They may wish to annotate the text using meaningful underlining, highlighting, and or other codes, summarize each paragraph chunk by chunk, which is called chunking the text, in the margins, also known as marginal summaries, posing questions or wonderings about the text and trying to locate possible answers within it, identifying unknown vocabulary and inferring the meaning using context clues, making connections to other texts they know, and reacting to the text with personal thoughts and emotions. Here's an example of an annotation and close reading rubric that you can use with your students for them to self and peer assess their overall annotations and close reading abilities. As you can see, it begins on a level 1 and works its way up to a level 4, moving from working towards proficient to advanced. And you can see certain words are bolded to highlight the differences in each level. Overall, the rubric is looking at students' ability to conduct a close reading and annotate on the text, using critical thinking while breaking down the text, posing questions and looking for possible answers, and jotting down the wonderings and connections as well as context clues to define any unknown vocabulary. It also includes their ability to use marginal summaries as well as ensure that their annotations are relevant and show an understanding of the text. At this point in this lesson today, students are only being asked to use color coding as their annotation strategy. However, you can begin to introduce other strategies that students can use for annotating and then begin to introduce this rubric as a self-assessment tool where students can then reflect on their annotations and even swap with one another to peer assess. So how would this work? Well, first, students can be given the rubric previously shown and give themselves a grade by reflecting on the criteria and asking themselves why did they give themselves that grade, whether it be a 1, a 2, a 3, or a 4 on the 4-point rubric. They will fill in this first part for themselves. Then they can swap with their peer assessment partner or share their copy of their annotating and close reading rubric Google Doc with their partner. Their partner will then provide a grade for the student after viewing their annotations on their text and looking at the 4-point rubric side by side. Finally, they can provide a glow, one thing their partner did well, and a grow, one thing their partner can improve on using the rubric. And again, that's this bottom part for the partner to fill out. So this would again be a strategy to use as both a self and peer assessment where students can reflect and assess their abilities for annotating and close reading as well as the strategies used. So thank you teachers for joining me today to learn more about this annotation and close reading rubric for your students that they can use in self and peer assessment. If you click this hyperlink, you'll receive a copy of that continuum and you can see it pops right up. You could just press make a copy. Here's what this would look like, and students can, instead of having it on paper, they can also use it in a Google Doc and then just share it with their partner which their partner can then write on as well. Okay, teachers, thank you so much and have a wonderful day.